You know, this would work better if I had audio. Hi, it's me. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. I know. So many reasons, no. There's a save. I'm gonna start by saying there's a save there because I checked that the game would work. Like, a while ago. I actually don't remember the beginning of the game anymore, thankfully. Hi. Well, the game is loading again. We're playing Fate Samurai Remnant. Why? If it's not obvious, in recent years, in the recent, like, 2 years, probably not as obvious, I'm a fan of the Fate series by Type Moon, which just went past. Fate Samurai Remnant is really interesting as a game to me, because I like Fate Grand Order, I like Fate Stay Night, I like the entire goddamn extended universe. So we're gonna watch this opening video. Because fuck yeah. But yeah, no. I see why they had the Aniplex. Aniplex 100% definitely did this intro. Our Saber. I know the servant classes. Well, some of them. I know which one's a servant at the very least. Servant, Master. I think this one's a Master? Servant? I think it's hard to tell with this game because it's actually in, I think the Warring State era of Japan, or just after Sengoku Jidai. I think this is after Nobunaga. Well, Hideyoshi. I know too much about Japan. This part of Japanese history. Jean d'Arc, Alter, and a bunch of extra servants. I wasn't talking through this because of copyright. This is zero case that I'm not gonna get copyright claimed in the archive. But no, I'm really interested. Because Fate Samurai Remnant it has interesting connotations. Fate Samurai Remnant, I'm going to talk about those. I'm going to talk about some of the connotations just from, like, the outset as a player. Taking forever to get to the title screen, which worries me. There you go. So Fate Samurai Remnant came out in... damn it, the copyright doesn't cover it. It came out in, I want to say... 2 years? 3 years ago? Maybe a bit longer. I have a bad grasp of time. Fate Samurai Remnant came out, and it's interesting because there is already a part of the... There's actually 3 parts to the Japanese and the Fate Stay Night, not Stay Night, Fate series, that's very specifically Japan-based. Like, it's not just, like, it's in Japan, but, like, it's the heroic spirits of Japanese, the setting is obviously Japan, but, like, this... And one of them I know is, Fate Redline. Fate Redline takes place, in a Grail war that is... I want to say, like, in World War II. So yeah. Oop, I've accidentally hit a button. But Redline took place in, like, a World War II. Yep, I did it again. God fucking damn it. No, I do not want to load in because I do not want to trigger, like, my fucking stupid memory. What I'm gonna do is just click new game and we're gonna get in. But Redline took place in World War again in Fate. For Fate, it's a multiverse. But Redline took place in a World War II era and was completely... Actually, no, I can just go to settings. There we go. We'll stay here. It's not as aesthetic, but we'll stay here so it doesn't go. But yeah, so that took place there. And then Redline is actually based off a more joking one with similar characters in terms of servants, which was all about Nobunaga. Now, Nobunaga the Shinsengumi, specifically Okita, and a number of other characters from there came from a joke, more of a joke manga called Konoace. Konoace? I want to say Konoace. One of those letters might be wrong. Which is basically a gag, like a gag for, what's the word, 4-koma? Which is like, just a 4-panel joke mag. Basically the funnies. So yeah, no, they touched upon it, but a lot of, I know, because we saw some of the servants, and Nobunaga is not in this setup, which is interesting. Which is why Fate Samurai Remnant has always been interesting to me, because Nobunaga is such a Nobunaga and Okita are in every because Nobunaga has her own events in Fate, her own yearly, for the longest time has had her own yearly event in Fate Grand Order. It stopped recently. She would have the Nobu events, but she is not in any of this, and this is a very Japanese game. Now, I think this is after Warring States, which means Nobunaga's dead, which means theoretically she should be summonable. But no, the other interesting is we definitely saw Gilgamesh, which is weird because no, it's not weird, but it's weird that it doesn't. He's just sort of standing next to a bunch of other foreign servants too. But yeah, no, we've got some of the ones I know. Just from looking, there's Musashi, but I'm pretty sure Musashi, though she is a servant in Fate Grand Order, pretty sure she is still alive in this era. Like, this is still her alive. And I feel like I know another. Because outside the foreign servants, I know a lot of these servants, it's their, for a few of these servants, it is their first time. I guess we just jump in. This is a Muso game. So we're gonna go Sword Fighter, because I've played a fuck ton of Muso. A fuck ton of Komei's Warrior series. Oh, that old-fashioned... Oh, and then it switches in... Okay. Why are we starting with this story? Is this going to be like one of our first servants? Over the Hitomi. Okay. If you rated, okay. I feel like this has to be one of our early servants, maybe. Or maybe it's an introduction to our protagonist. Or our antagonist. Fate likes to do that sometimes. There they gorged on blood and plunder. Oh, wait, that color palette, that looks like the protagonist, because I know the protagonist's look. Okay. Yeah, I feel like we're learning. I'm getting real Berserk vibes, though. A kid. A bit. The what? What was that?
Oh, oi, Ji-san. 話はそれで終わりか? 何も落ちちゃいねえじゃねえか.
Yeah, this guy's just me right now.
どうなったんで? どうも何も. この話はそれだけなんだよ.
What is the point of the story then?
矢五郎一味は
この夜を最後にみんないなくなっちまった。
That even from this, because I know I'm really guessing just based on the color palette and stuff, that was the protagonist as a kid, and he slaughtered the gang when he realized he'd be killed by him in the morning.
藩の殿様が手勢を連れて港町に来てみれば、あるのは町人たちと矢五郎一味の死体だけ。
Ooh.
港にあった荷物もそのままさ。
This is interesting because
なんだいそれ。一味は仲違いで殺し合って自滅したってのか？
No, I bet they were killed in their sleep. Because think about it, they said, because that story already said the guy liked children, but once he lost interest, but like if they all went to bed because they've been drinking, yeah, a kid could definitely still kill him.
まあな。矢五郎も槍を手にしたまま死んでいたって話だ。
Interesting.
他に面白いことと言ったら、後に港町のありさまを見聞した役人はこんなことを殿様に知らせたらしい。ことはすべて一人の名士の技によるもの。
The question is, the question that's raised is this just is our protagonist just someone who's skillful at killing people? Because Fate has statutes there is a baseline in Fate where some protagonists are straight up good at killing, not necessarily because of their personality, but because of something much more abstract. I'm looking at like Shikitono, both Shikis, Shikitono and Shiki Ryuji from Tsukihime and Garden of Sinners, respectively.
玉坂立ち寄った旅人が町を通り過ぎるよう。群がる山賊ども84人、ことごとく切り伏せて候。
That phrasing's unique. So, because that intro showed us, and because I already knew Musashi was at least in this game, Musashi is often a traveler when she appears in Fate Grand Order. That's interesting. So actually, so I wonder if maybe our protagonist is a historic character, and Musashi's a historic character with liberal license. So,
藩の足軽が手を焼く山賊を一人で返り討ちだ。そんな流れ者がいるもんかい。いたらそれこそ噂の武芸者。
there it is.
剣術無双の武蔵何がしってな。
Yeah, that sounds like. I was thinking, man, our protagonist is that. It's just a color palette, clearly. No, it makes sense. Musashi can kill an entire army by herself.
矢五郎一味は死んだんだよな。ならガキはどうなったんだ。一人だけ生きてたんだろ。
それがなかったんだよ。子供の死体が。
Oh wait, I remember now. Sorry, it just occurred to me because she talks about him during the Vegas Singularity. Musashi had an apprentice who was considered very serious, and because she tries to pose as him throughout nearly all of Vegas, even though no one buys it.
死んではいないが、生きてもいない。
Can you tell I know way too much about Fate? I can't.
たちと一緒に、その子供もこの世からいなくなっちまったのさ。
Asuka Edo 1651. Okay, 1650. I don't know dates that well is the issue. I don't know. Pretty sure this is during the Shogunate period, I want to say. I might be wrong. Because I don't think it's Sengoku Jidai. I don't think it's during the time of chaos. Well, that would be an interesting story. You couldn't weave the warring states that cleanly into a normal Grail war. Yeah, Iori! Miyamoto Iori. And yes, that color palette tells me that kid is probably this guy. I know this is our protagonist. Like I said before, I've seen some stuff about this game. Yeah, Musashi tried to pretend she was Iori during the Vegas one and no one believed it. Okay, whoa. It's interesting because he's a human, not a servant. And while I get it, it's a Muso game. It's weird to think that I could play as a human going up against a servant. A servant, even the weakest servant, is stronger than a human. Where are these ninjas coming from? Ooh, stance. Ooh, this is so this must be the unique thing. Pressing the pad while holding left bumper will change Iori's stance. Each stance has a dramatically different fighting style, so change it up to give yourself a hand. F stance is defensive, single-stored form that consumes fortitude to negate a fixed amount of damage. Able to withstand powerful attacks. Okay, so this is like my... Oh, I'm expecting to take hits. What it stands is dual sword and is quick. So, well suited for dealing with groups. So it's my AoE. Yep, which is way better for dealing with these fuckers, because generally you don't have to worry about getting hit during when you're just fighting mobs in a Muso. During battle, enemies may be shrouded in a red glow. This is a sign they're readying a deadly attack. Land a heavy to interrupt them. Also temporarily stun them so don't miss a chance. Okay. Okay, so that's how they're doing it. Because it kind of reminds me of, like, in Hyrule Warriors, an enemy would do a heavy attack, and if you were quick, you could, after they do it, you could drain their defense, and that's the same basic thing. Valor Strike. Oh, it's my Muso gauge. Okay. Oh no. Okay, that is probably a servant. Oh, that's a command spell. Or at least it looks like the pattern for one. Miyamoto Iori. Do you know who I am? Okay. F stance. Exposed enemies. Iori's attacks may be repelled by some strong enemies. However, when the enemy is exposed during their attack recovery, indicated by a bluish-white light. Okay, so right trigger. Damn it! Oh, come on. Nope. I can't get hit if I want this to work. Gotcha! Damn it! Nope, I'm dead.
まだ戦える。
Come on. There is a cool... I'm seeing it. There is a cooldown between when I can hit and when I can dodge. Oh, okay, if I don't dodge that... If I don't... Oh, no. Well, that wasn't fun. Controller is vibrating like no tomorrow. Oh. Oh, Gemcraft. That's gem-based Magicraft. Oh, but it did nothing to them. Right, okay, yeah, no, that explains why we were so outclassed. So that's the rider class servant. And this is a I thought this was a servant. She's a master. This does make sense though, because Musashi in Fate's timelines was an absolute monster. Oh, it was forming but not formed. Oh, are we gonna get a "Are You My Master" scene? Come on, game, don't. Yeah. Oh no, it was going to the intro again. Okay. What the hell's Musashi up to? Because, again, she should be alive in this era. She's in the intro. Right? When did Musashi die? Actually, is there... No, I think the only limitation on summoning a servant is that they can't be alive in the era they're summoned in. So, like, I can't be summoned... Like, let's use me as an example. I can't be summoned from 1997 onwards because I exist here in reality. There are exceptions to this, but generally speaking, under most conditions, it's really rare for a servant to be summoned in an era they exist. I saw Kukulane there. Actually, if Musashi died young, I don't know enough about Musashi's overall history, if I'm being honest. I guess, yeah, no, Musashi could be in their servant state. He could be a servant already. I don't know, because it's just the Asura could be metaphorical. Again, Musashi was a monster in life in terms of like her combat ability several hours earlier, but yeah, Musashi was a monster in life, but I don't but not supernaturally empowered like a servant was.
兄ちゃん見つけた。
Hello there.
Kaya ka.
Oh, they're voiced here too.
悪いが今は手が離せない。長屋で待っていてくれ。
I really like the art style for the portraits, by the way. Look at this. Like, this looks really nice because it's got like, it's like roughly hand drawn in a way. Like they've gone with a specific aesthetic to keep.
こら。
危ない真似はよせ。
こうでもしなきゃ兄ちゃんやめないでしょ。ほんと相変わらず稽古好きなんだから。
まったく、お前こそ相変わらず威勢がいい。
もちろん。兄ちゃんもちゃんと稼いでご飯食べて。
Oh god, I feel that. I do a lot of stuff without eating. Honestly, sometimes it's a surprise whether I'll eat lunch or breakfast or lunch some days. Not both, but usually one or the other. Some days both.
食べてないじゃん。もうダメだよそんなんじゃ。
いや、まあなんだ。
言い訳無用。私にはすぐわかるんだから。ついこの前も飢えてこそたどり着く境地がどうこうとか言って。
Oh yeah, that's one of Musashi's lessons from the sounds of it.
結局お腹空きすぎて倒れちゃったの。もう忘れた？自分を追い込むのもほどほどにしないと。
あれは未熟だった。未熟ゆえ腹の具合を見誤った。
That's not a good answer, mate.
ふーん。
Oh lord.
兄ちゃん。
一言もない。
本当にしょうがないんだから。ほらこれ。
Ooh. I was about to say, is it going to be onigiri? And then it showed the packaging. I was like, maybe not. Nope, it's onigiri.
どうせこんなことだと思っておむすびこさえてきてあげたの。これ食べて稼いできなさい。
Actually, wait. No. Rice balls are onigiri, right? Yeah, it's fine.
できた妹がいて、兄は鼻高々だ。
本当？ってごまかされないんだからね。ちゃんと稼いで、ちゃんと食べてね。
Right.
わかったわかった。助之進に口利きを頼んでみる。さあ、お前は小笠原の家に帰れ。俺もすぐに出る。
は
So
ーい。
mercenary life.
気をつけて頑張ってね。
あ、お前も小笠原様に迷惑をかけるなよ。
Okay. Every day is a good day. Okay. Interest. Just because I know the relationship to Musashi, it will be interesting to see Musashi eventually. Oh, there we go. I was like, it's not doing the thing. No, there it is. Okay, cool. Quite a dilapidated little... I wonder if this is one of those things where it's like, as the story progresses and probably doing some side stuff, it will get better. Outside, over there, it's quite dilapidated. Alright, mate, I need work. The Kenoshi.
ああ、こたびは何をすればいい？
それなんだがな。
盗みを企てる無頼の浪人どもを懲らしめるか。
Then some degenerate Ronin.
おう、頼むぜ。
So that sounds like the job we were doing, and then we got
こ
attacked.
の手の浪人どもが多くてな。おかげでこちとらてんてこまんよ。
This sounds like it's just because after Sengoku Jidai, in the shogunate was set up. A lot of Ronin were itching off the formalization of rules.
牢関に走る浪人はまだ増えるぞ。改易や取り潰しに遭う大名家が多い。おのずと浪人も増えようものだ。
Could be warring states, actually. I should look at exact time periods of Japan, like when they lasted.
いや、あんたは偉いよ、いおりさん。かの新面武蔵のお弟子様にもかかわらず、はした金で俺の務めを手伝ってくれてよ。
Oh, for for the Fate version of Musashi, because you know history, Musashi is a man by all depictions. Fate's version, she's kind of a free spirit, but very kind about it. Okay, it's been a recent change of times.
望んだあり方だ。これでいい。だが、はした金というならお前、もっと積んでいいんだぞ。
腕に似合わんよな。すまん。奉行所もこれでなかなか厳しくてな。
いや、冗談だ。
そう言ってくれるとありがたいね。そんじゃま、よろしく頼むぜ。
Okay.
おお、よりくん、これから仕事かい？
This little town. There. Oh, yeah, I was about to say, is there a map? Oh, this is a sizable little map. And down the ends here, there could be 2 places, maybe?
浪人がそこかしこうろついてておっかないったらありゃしない。
It's in a lot of these eras, the changing of things does do a lot.
手はず通りに盗みに入る。先を思えば金はいくらあってもいいからな。
Because it's like any changing of eras, especially eras of fighting. A lot of these fighters don't have skills for peace. And no one wants to pay for them to guard stuff. The era should be peaceful.
やめておけ。首が飛ぶぞ。
なんだ貴様。面倒だ。消せ。
Alright.
水の型だ。
After fighting it for some time in a particular stance, your body will begin to shine with afterglow. That's an unusual time to have an afterglow. Changing stances while this occurs bestows beneficial effects for your next one. Water stance afterglow. My attack speed will go up. Yeah, this does feel a lot faster than it. I think that's all of them. Oh, time for the boss.
そうか。貴様も選ばれたのか。
Oh.
あざ？何のことだ？
Oh, the command seal is faint on my hand already. I don't see one on his model, but command seals don't necessarily have to be on your hand. Oh, shit. The issue is, I think Circle, some of my Dynasty Warrior muscle memory is actually not helpful here. Come on. Oh, jewels. May end up locking swords with an opponent. Press repeatedly the button. You're over. Level up. Yep.
よう終わったな。いつもながら手際が良くて助かるね。
手強かったぞ。いささか肝を冷やした。
そうかい？
そうだ。では銭をいただこ
う。おいあんた、その手はどうしたよ。左手の甲だ。ずいぶん長じゃねえか。
That's interesting because command skills shouldn't be visible to anyone who doesn't have any magic ability.
あざこ。あざ。確か戦国の浪人が何か言っていたな。
Cool though.
俺はまた派手に赤くなってんな。あんたが食らうとは珍しいこともあるもんだ。
少しはもらったが、左手の甲受けた覚えはない。放っておくさ。痛みはないし。
I wonder if that line would have been different if I hadn't taken any damage to whole battle.
なあ、そうかい。そんじゃ、これが今日の分だ。明日も来いよ。
$42. Like I know the exchange rates and everything are different, but I've learned that if you just want to sort of like get a general gist of like a perfect exchange, and it's not perfect, but it's close enough, just take the last two numbers and turn them into
明日
cents.
は確か吉原だったか。揉め事には欠かない町だ。
だからあんたみてえな腕利きがいるんだよ。頼んだぜ。
Okay. Now we got work.
さて、帰るか。
Wait, how does this is only a few hours? This all took place only a few hours before the beginning of the game. Oh, I was about to say, how does this lead to the ninja thing? I thought the job was for the ninjas. Every day is a good day. Complete. Younger foster sister. After... Okay, Musashi's dead. She was adopted by the Osagawa's family. Worried about her brother, she often stays at his house in Asakusa to look after him. Okay. So Musashi's gone. Means it's definitely Servant Musashi coming.
世話を焼きすぎだぞ小屋。しかしありがたい。このあざ、痛みはないが色味が濃くなっているな。なんだ。紅玉は寝ているか。明日にしよう。せくようなことでもなし。たかが左手のあざ一つ。我がなぎの日々が揺らぐほどでもなし。
Yeah, while it isn't, it's... I guess for a warrior, it's like, it's fine.
食ったら寝るか。今宵はやけに月が眩しいな。
Actually, yeah, it is. So how it's shining through like daylight to some degree. And that's how we got to the beginning fight. Oh. So Ryder was already on the attack from the very beginning. Who are you though? The thing is, there are straight up new servants. So present time. Okay, and now I was about to be like, do we have to now do a second version of those? No, just get back to where we were.
まだ死ぬわけにはいかない。
There it is, the command seal.
この光、やはり。察するに。君が私の呼び人か。
Yeah! We have to. Fate Stay Night was built on the scene of Are You My Master? We had to do a version. The light that burns away the night.
待て。貴殿は。
ふむ。私はセイバーのようだな。
Oh, this is our saber servant for this war.
セイバ
ー？いとまがない。まずは離れる。
Alright.
呼び人よ。君の名は何だ？
Oh, yeah. That's a servant's power.
ではより遅れるなよ。
待て。セイバーと言ったが、司祭を。
気安いな。呼び捨てられる覚えはないぞ。
名乗ったのはそちらだ。いや、話をするいとまはないか。
Oh, goodness. Yep. The usual story. Someone not included in the Holy Grail War gets thrown in with zero context for what they're getting into.
君、剣以外の脳は
なくはないが。揺るがぬ血のごとく。終わりだ。受けてみろ。
行くぞ、より。
Ooh, Magecraft spells. Woo! Hold left bumper, and you can.
奥の手。
Okay.
炎とは。
本職ではないがな。
Hmm.
受けてみろ。
まじない。妖術の類か。威力はないが出が早い。剣のみよりいくらかマシだ。
受けてみろ。
Hey, time for Afterglow.
水の流れのごとく。
I don't think the Afterglow was actually up. I think it was just giving me a reminder. Last one. Alright, Saber. We've met Ryder and we've met Saber. Which is interesting because if Musashi's in this game as a servant, and she's not Saber, the only other one I've seen her is as Berserker. You know, with Ryder gone, still using a sword, so she wouldn't be any of the other infantry classes. Not like she's here under a normal class. During battle, strong servants may assume a defensive posture. Enemies in this state will defend against normal attacks. They use heavy damaging attacks such as spells and valor strikes to break their guard. Enemies may retaliate with a deadly attack if you continue the barrage of normal attacks without breaking their guard. There we go. Okay, so I can use magic to get out, but I have a limited amount of magic and I just burnt through most of it. Pretty much all of it, actually. It's at 0. And Ryder's here. Cool design, though.
ライダーだったか。じゃあ転落落とした。
ライダー短期逃げるのはやめだ。ここで仕留める。
Oh crap. Okay, they're pulling out bigger guns. Their pauldrons do magic. Assist. When the Ori's in trouble, there's a chance for a servant to come to his aid. Oh, it's like a jewel. Oh, I switched. Oh, you can hear him breathing though, so we are putting up actually a decent fight against him. What in the goddamn fuck? It Jean d'Arc altar. Who is normally an Avenger servant, which is a non-standard class that doesn't normally appear in a Grail War. But like, if you see most of Fate, you'll know her face. That's an interesting, because she's not talking like Jolter, who's usually very angry. Lancer, the Tamboris spear wielder. Saber, the hero of the boundless azure. Affinity technique. Okay, so servant. Well, I guess it makes sense, but I don't know if it's characters or if just servants in general. Because servants, humans need to use magecraft to be able to do things, but servants don't need technically the same restrictions. Damn, my range as Saber is crazy cool though. Raindrops. Oh shit. Breaking waves. Don't let her get even a second in. Oh, and yeah. There's no way we're gonna beat a servant on night 1 of a Grail War. Oh right, we're still in town. It's also interesting because in modern eras, the Holy Grail War has to be kept under wraps. You have to try to minimize the amount of exposure the ordinary people would experience as much as possible. But also Rogue Wars, there isn't... Arbiters aren't usually involved. Who started it is the bigger thing. Because this would be running under different rules. Because of the error it's just in. Yes, I'm a nerd.
Oi!
矛を収める気はないか。ならば
Okay. Are we unleashing a noble phantasm already?
ホーグ
Yep.
Yamero!
Dang, goodbye, town. Oh! Oh no, that's not good though. Outside the fact of all the destruction, we used a command seal and Saber still ended up shooting off their noble phantasm regardless. A great cost to themselves, and I'm sure it's going to be a power down for them. Okay, so this is Lancer and Lance's master. Man, this dude looks rough. Oh, hey, Tenchi. No problem. The waxing moon ritual. Okay, so they're not meant to show off. So I guess it's a lot easier because of, obviously, in the modern era, it has to be kept under... The parts of the Fate series that happen in the modern era have to be kept under wraps because of the advent of cameras and film, and... But here, it's mostly just making sure it doesn't... that people aren't believed when they talk about it. Okay. So we've got Saber. So our character's got Saber. We've met Ryder and Ryder's master. We've met Lancer, who's Jean d'Arc Alter, but as a Lancer, not as an Avenger. And her master.
Miyamoto Iori. Master no hitori toshite. 今は不足と見た。
Okay.
いおり殿。次に会うときは必ずや。
Okay. I can't tell if that's honorable or not.
待て、セイバー。
Oh, Saber's level 5. That also explains why Saber was so strong to play. They're level 15.
私ならあの程度の連中。
町を砕き尽くすつもりか。いいか、二度とその刃を、それを水の鞘から抜くな。
そんな。
そんな。
Damn.
見ればわかるだろう。大筒どころの話ではないぞ、これは。
Because I also just realized for some of these heroic spirits, they still come from eras of warfare, especially the Japanese ones. Because this is only 1516? Like, a lot of the Japanese heroes who would be dead and thus be heroic spirits and to be summoned would have come from, like, the Warring States or earlier, where Japan was not a place of peace.
わからない。あれは私の武器の中で最も強力なものだ。
That's the problem, buddy.
撃ち滅ぼす。再統制の知識は多くないが。
This is also an interesting fact because the Holy Grail in a normal Holy Grail war, this waxing moon ritual is obviously similar, but normally the Holy Grail fills out enough information to prevent culture shock.
いわばそう。殿下の宝刀というやつだ。
殿下の宝刀であればなおさら抜くべきじゃない。
そうなのか?
Yes, you're going to hear again. I'm going to say that you're going to hear me talk a lot about Fate as a series, a lot of different things because I am such a big nerd. I mean, there's a reason why if I bring my avatar up, you can see the Chaldea's symbol from Fate Grand Order on me, and my whole shtick is that I'm themed after a servant. As a servant of my own nature.
となると
ただの剣で屋敷がコナミ人になるか。とにかく抜くな。いいな。
そういうものか。それならば、英月の儀を生き残ることはできんの。
The waxing moon ritual. You'll have our lore. Yes, no, because I was such a big fan, I made my VTuber avatar very themed, which is also why my HUD is reminiscent of Fate Go's HUD. And I have things up here, like I've got my Noble Phantasm devouring Gungnir over there. Okay, Waxing Moon Ritual is obviously an equivalent for the Grail War if it's summoning servants. Because a high-end magical relic would have to be summoning and maintaining servants, because servants can't be maintained by a human level of magical reserve.
そうだ。
Normally.
より、君はすでに選ばれた。その左手。甲に浮かぶ印が何よりの証。君は、英月の儀に携わる呼び人、マスターの一人となった。
Okay, pretty standard so far. If they say that the winner gets whatever wish they want, then it's equivalent to, it's straight up a Holy Grail War in everything but name. But it's interesting because the Holy Grail War, at least by Fate Stay Night and all timelines that derive from that, God, when did the Einsbergs and that make it? It would have, but it wouldn't have been here. It's in Fuyuki. Anyway, in Asikata.
宣告、異国の女も言っていた。それは何だ？
ひどく大掛かりな種だ。
Well, a momentous proportion. Okay.
7人のマスターが最後の一人まで殺し合う生存競争。
Yeah, that's pretty standard Holy Grail. 7 servants, seven masters. And usually 7 servants, though there are, again, a franchise this big, there are exceptions.
君を襲ったユイや顔を隠した男もマスターとなったうつしおの者たちだろう。
うつしお？
そう、マスターはうつしおの者。我ら常世の者を刃として扱うのだ。我らは英霊、サーバントとも言う。かつて死して
And their benefit is, not at least assuming this is similar in a normal Holy Grail War. Not only do you as a master get a wish, but the servant that you're contracted to at the time also gets their wish. So they have reasons why they want it too. A wish on a Holy Grail can be literally anything you want. You can change reality. Assuming the Grail isn't corrupted. If it's corrupted, shit happens. And I don't mean like, oh shit happens, I mean like, it goes south real quick.
私と君は仲間同士なのだ。
呼び人、マスター、サーバント、英霊。かつて死してかりそめの命、死人が蘇るものか。何を言ってるんだ。死した者にできることはせいぜい恨みをうめく程度だろう。立って歩き街を砕く亡霊なんて。
That fits with this character's personality. He's like, yeah, no, the dead can't come back.
亡霊扱いとは肝が据わっているな。
Again, I really love this aesthetic for the portrait.
英霊とはことの葉の通り、英雄英傑の魂だ。
Yeah.
少なくとも私はそのように捉えている。
宣告の黒い武者は？
あれも英霊だ。人気の女もそうだ。間違いない。
I'm inclined to believe a Grail is definitely in use here, because Well, it seems like they don't have the full array of information that a servant probably would usually claim to some degree. There is... Oh, god damn it. One second. There is the usual amount... There's still enough knowledge about the Grail, the war itself. And this is the biggest thing, because the Throne of Heroes is outside of time, which is why people who were posthumously made heroes can be heroes. Except in the case of the Voyager space probe, where it just went far enough to the edge of the universe, it ended up in the Throne of Heroes and became Voyager, a servant. Wait, heroic experience, yeah. I mean, in the case of Caster, it's usually actual magic, or high-end magecraft. Hmm? I mean, I said it before, the weak... Because... Let's explain things to me as someone who's ever... So... What Saber's saying here is true. And I'm glad I can tell you. What Saber's saying here is true, because in Fate Hollow Exeria, which is the... Because Fate is a multiverse and there's so many different things, and I'll talk about different things, and often when I talk about something, I'll talk about where it is in the multiverse and where it correlates to other timelines. Right now, I would consider this an isolated timeline. Like, though it's clearly stuff is happening, this is happening on its own path in the multiverse. In Fate Hollow Exeria, which is on the Fate Stay Night timeline, the original story that... Because Fate started with Fate Stay Night. So Fate Stay Night was the first thing they ever made that had anything to do with this multiverse that they made. Its direct sequel, Hollow Exeria, has a character called Avenger, which would later become a class. But the original Avenger said this: I'm the weakest servant, but even the weakest servant is stronger than the strongest human. By their pure nature, being a servant will always make you stronger than any normal human. Humans who have weird things sometimes, like, when I made my own lore, I had to go deep. And it's like, I am human. I'm not a summoned servant. I'm a demi-servant, which means I'm a human with servant powers and so on. I would be an exception to this. If I was a canonical character in any part of the Fate franchise, I would be one of those people who is a human who could fight a servant fairly. But I'm not a normal human. But without my powers, I would be a normal human. And I would be hopelessly outclassed. Alright, tell me, is it gonna be a wish? There it goes. It's a wish. Always a wish. I was meant to do a whole video with M, but M's been busy, and I was gonna do it before we did this, so I had an explanation video, essentially, of, like, basic things, and M was gonna ask me questions that they were gonna have. And we'll still do that at some point. But so I'll just explain it as we go. The basis of the Holy Grail War as depicted from the first time it appeared in Fate Stay Night was you have 7 human mages, or in the case of there aren't 7 mages at the site, you have 7 potential mages, and they each summon 1 servant each of 7 classes. Saber, Archer, Lancer, Rider, Caster, Assassin, Berserker. These were the original rules. These were the 7 classes. You can only have 1 of each class. So since we have Saber, we've met Rider, we've met Lancer, that means the only ones that are left are Archer, Assassin, Caster, and Berserker.
Nani? 己が願いが叶うのだ。義によって祀られる英月の力によって。 どんな願いも実現する。残った最後の一組がその力を得る
Yep.
という話だ。
願いか。
Now, traditionally, any Holy Grail war is, at its core, is a relic known as the Lesser Grail. The Holy Grail itself, known as the Greater Grail, is a construct that is outside the best word, conceptualization. Like, its existence can't really be in our reality, which is why it can change stuff. You need to get the Lesser Grail powered up, so when you interact with it interacts with the Greater Grail, where it can rewrite reality for the big wishes. Like, let's say I win. Now, I could ask for, I win, and after all that fighting, I go, I just want a chimichanga. It will give me a chimichanga. That's a pretty simple wish. What if I went and said, I want to make it so... something outlandish. Let's say, like, I want it so when World War II won, the only country that won was France. So, like, it would rewrite reality, so somehow France by itself would be considered the victorious party at the end. And it rewrites reality like that. And the Greater Grail, because of where it exists, can do that shit. Now, the fact that this is under a different name, and canonically, if this was in a timeline that led to Fate Stay Night, the Lesser Grail and the ritual around that hasn't been made yet, which is why I'm saying this must be on its own timeline.
願いだ。
Yes, I'm nerding hard.
その様子では興味を抱いたか？
貴殿にも願いがあるのかな？ないのか？
いや、あるとも。サーバントとして召喚に応じた以上、きっと。ただ、物忘れをしてしまったようで。
Memory loss is kind of a decent plot point. Some servants don't have their memories fully intact. Some don't have their memories for various reasons. In some cases, it's because the worst case is the servant this part of the servant's history means that they have memories that aren't theirs. Here's an example. One version of events is if you were to summon Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. In Fate Grand Order, with time rewound like 1 minute, but it's yes, exactly, kind of. But some servants like Jekyll and Hyde, usually they're aware of existences, but depending on the war and the context, they may actually not be able to know each other exist. And some servants are built like that because one of their noble phantasms could have them switch into a later version. Most servants know their entire life. So, like, if I'm summoned as a heroic servant, I would remember up to the moment of my death. Unless something in my life is an important thing that becomes my noble phantasm. Vlad III, also known as Vlad the Impaler, his thing is the Legend of Dracula, where he turns into he goes from the aristocrat to the vampiric monster. So he knows both, but he doesn't have the personality of the latter while he's still the former.
物忘れだ。
嘘をついているようには見えんが。では、忘れる程度の願いだったと。
君はあれだな。真面目な顔をして辛辣だな。
These two are gonna be... This is gonna be the relationship of, like, two people, like, we are struggling together. Or we are struggling to work together. And...
正直なだけだ。
減らぬ口だ。
They're gonna be good. This feels like the kind of relationship where they'll be really good friends by the end.
いや、いい。立ち話はここまでだ。より、ねぐらまで案内しろ。
まあ。いや、ちょっと待て。俺たちは今後、寝食を共にするのか？
うん、そうだ。
そうか。そうなるのか。
何を難しい顔を
You know what I really love?
行くぞ。
He's got our protagonist. He always got a top knot there, but the way they've styled it for both his art and his character model is really looks really cool. Like they're able to make it still look wild.
これが当世の家というものか。
Yes, houses still look the same.
このあれ用は常のものか。
You destroyed it in battle.
黒い武者に
No, right, no, Rider descended from the
普段は
sky.
もう少しマシだ。本当についてきたな。ああ、それで話の続きだが、義について他に分かることはあるか？
ないぞ。ない。
ない？
ない。私もこれ以上は知らないんだ。
Oh, good
もう
lord.
少しこう何かあるだろう。何か。アン君の催す御前試合でさえもう少しあるだろう。
私が言えたことではないが、同感だ。知り得ることは少ない。その上で、といおり、君は英月の義を何とする？
Oh, I accidentally log. Will you fool the other masters and servants? Will you desire the waxing moon's power?
英霊、英雄英傑のよみがえり、凄まじき力、あれらが相争うのが英月の義ならば、江戸の民草の多くが死ぬだろう。彼らも死ぬ。悪しきことを許されぬことだ。それはわかる。800野鳥を火の海にはできない。それは人の道に反する行いだ。
君はそういうのか。思うところはあるが、嘘のない良い返答だった。力不足も甚だしいが、私のマスタ
I'm
ーとして認め
alarmingly
ろ。
feeble. I was trained by Miyamoto Musashi, and she was a monster.
英霊、かつての英雄英傑。
Also
貴
forgot.
殿はどんな人物だったんだ？
The funny thing is, amnesia is real in Fate Stay Night, especially not Fate Stay Night, in Fate in general. There are two examples I can think of. There is Archer from Fate Stay Night, who, spoiler alert, minor spoiler because I won't tell you exactly who they are, even though Fate Grand Order kind of spoils it by just nature. Archer for Fate Stay Night is faking memory loss to hide their actual identity. And in Fate Extra, your servant, because in Fate Extra, the master you play there is so not suitable to be a master that their servant straight up can't remember who they were. Because your magical power is so non-existent that frankly it should be borderline impossible for you to be a master. So it's like, here's the caveat: you made it. Your servant remembers shit all about themselves.
どんなってわからないのか？
Oh.
じゃあいい。私は名乗るほどのものではないということだ。
Oh, we're not going with memory loss, we're just going with pride.
貴殿を呼ぶときに支障が出るだろう。
おいでもお前でも好きに呼ぶといい。そもそもイオリは弱い。
Oh, goddamn.
弱いマスターに名を明かしても私に利はないぞ。
So here's the thing, though. Servants normally can't live long without a master, but here's the other thing. If during a Holy Grail war, if someone who is a master loses their servant, so their servant is killed, but they still have command seals, the seals on their hand or wherever it is, those red command seals. I have some on my model, actually. Then Marcus explains the entirety of Fate during a stream. Like, I've got seals down here by my hand. I actually have 2 sets, which is not normal. if you have command cells, you can if there is a servant out there that's willing to either break the contract with their master, or their master has already been killed, yeah, you can still stay in the war, even though you are no longer, even though the person you originally contracted to is no longer
例え
around.
ばイオリが敵方に囚われて
Though it's a lot more dangerous for servants because you are their mana battery. Once you're defeated, the ritual stops giving magic to help provide their existence. And doesn't reconnect unless they get a new one, so they're on borrowed time.
そのまま我が名を明かすやもしれん。あるいは生き人形にされるやもしれん。故にイオリに我が名は教えられない。
そんなに名が大切か。
うん。
そうか。ところで、俺が敵に捕まるのは定め。
敵が弱いなら捕まえるもの。マスターならなおさらだ。
捕まった俺を助けようとは。
イオリがいようといまいと戦力的に変わりはない。
Yeah, but if he's killed, you go too.
マスターが死んだのなら、それはそれで戦いやすくはなる。
確かにな。貴殿に比べれば、吹けば飛ぶ紙が如くではある。
紙？
Wait, you're before the creation of paper?
紙ではないな。響きが少し違う。吹けば。
おや？物を知らないのは過去を生きた人物。
This is interesting because this has the tellings of a butchered ritual for Grail ritual.
しかし今を知らない。そのあたりすり合わせがあって叱るべきだな。
なんだ急に黙って。眠いのか？おーい。より。
These idiots.
おーい。
Oh, good lord. That's interesting because there usually is a context given enough to be able to know basic things. Like, so a servant might not know what TV or a movie is, but they'll have enough to be able to go, okay, this is really interesting, but I'm not going to get like full-on culture shock. Unless the writing decides on it because it's funnier. Okay, it's under experimentation. So this is like the first time they've done it.
ランサーの妨害さえなければ、神明の類推も叶ったのでしょうが。ともあれ、これでようやく7人の呼び人が揃ったと言えましょう。土御門殿。
報告、大義である。
Why does that sound familiar?
なぜキャツをみすみす
Yeah, this guy definitely isn't a main antagonist.
それは
こたびの件、お前の友も腹に据えかねていると見えるが。
恐れながら、慈悲深き我が主よ。無知な者を無知なまま殺すことも慈悲かと。
言ったはずだ、ライダ
ー。That's...
マスターの自覚なき者を切るは我が心情にもとる。
Okay, yeah, no, this has to be butchered. Because outside of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th Grail Wars on Stay Night's timeline, there were measures put in place to prevent essentially legendary villains from being summonable normally. But in a half-assed ritual or a problematically reverse-engineered one, those limiters do not exist from the get-go. I'm thinking Ryder's probably not someone who is traditionally heroic, but rather someone who's probably a cautionary tale.
石上五国を生ぜず、せいぜいその生真面目さで斧が首を絞めぬよう努めるのだな。
Also, because we had John the Arc Alter, which is already telling us we have people. I should probably explain that because Tenchi didn't know anything about Fate. alters are a term used for characters whose legend is sort of dual-sided. There's a version of them that is like legendary hero, like Jeanne d'Arc, who is, you know, she's this legendary figure. She's this big good. She hears from God, you know, she hears the voice of God. And for the French, she was this mythic woman who led them to victory over the English. But Jeanne d'Arc's legend is two-sided. She's also the Dragon Witch, this woman who consorted with dragons and monsters and fought against the righteous British. So Jeanne d'Arc normal is her as a saint, but Jeanne d'Arc Ultra is the perspective of her as the Dragon Witch, her view from the British point. So if I ever refer to a character as an alter, it means whatever traditionally heroic thing that character has going for them, it's negated. We're looking at the other, and we're looking at the other perspective. Isn't 100% like one-to-one for all alter variants, but it is a pretty good standard to begin with when you're trying to suss out why an alter is why a character is acting the opposite or has a different design. It's usually because we're looking at the negative, the cautionary tale version of them. But we saw Jeanne d'Arc Alter, who is the villain version of her. Oh, are we gonna see another fight? Oh, these two again. 義に無関係な人間だったらどうするつもりだ？ランサーとそのマスターか。This dude is really messed up. Like, look, he's got like stitch marks on his neck. This looks, and he's so pale and covered in blood. Dude. このような量に一体何の用向きだ？奇襲以外何があると？もっとも。子孫自体がね。随分と大胆な奇襲があったものだ。とはいえ、貴殿が相手なら話は早い。ライダー。I do like the fact we are seeing some of the other masters' interactions. In some parts of Fate, you only get to see it from the main character's perspective the whole time, and you sort of have to just learn about events like Stay Night has a lot of that, where there are actually a lot of... Sometimes you get to see other events you're not... Your characters... Because it's a visual novel, you mostly follow Shiro's viewpoint throughout Fate Stay Night, and you learn about other events indirectly. Or sometimes you get a view of them, but you don't get all of it. But it's really cool to see this more out. ではどうするつもりだ？くだらない思い出話をしようじゃないか。由小説。何故私の名を知る？知恵も己に加盟なし。かようなものは島原の炎で灰となって。Ah, shared history, huh? 島原の生き残り？ならばもしや貴殿。森総意見先生をよく知っている。さあ、くだらない思い出話をしよう。This can only end badly because Ryder is clearly non-moral. This guy, everything about him screams this is problematic. Jeanne d'Arc Alter is his servant, and this girl is the only moral person in this alleyway. 知恵門殿、私も貴殿とは話をしたい。Diemon. Ooh. Oh. Another one of these. わしが剣にのみ生きたのは今のお前ほどの自分だった。戦国の世が続いたならば、わしはそのままで生きただろう。Wait, is this one of the storylines where Musashi is a man?
ならば道も変わるわどう
Because Fate's, oh, wait, no, because
理由は剣のみに
I'll explain this later.
心の形人が人としてよく生きるための武蔵なりの覚書になったいおりお前は特別だ他の者とは頭の出来が違う新しきを受け入れる柔らかさ、古きを尊重するつつましさ
A little bit Xenoblade Saga.
そしてその上で
It does give that vibe, I realized, from the outside.
お前を養子としたのは
Yeah, no, it is male
その
Musashi.
最後の手のこと
It's historically accurate Musashi, rather than Fate's
良
version.
い試し切りの相手になるだろうとな決して情などではない情などではなかったのだ
師匠
だがお前は優しすぎた若い自分の武蔵であればあるいは
師匠
武蔵の教えなどお前には
But I really love these cutscenes.
そのような運命に出会えば当然のように従うだろう人助けなど全く
Okay, so near the end of Musashi's life.
お前は生まれる時代を間違えたのだ
Musashi saw a warrior in him, but we had entered the era of peace. Gentle swordsman. So, I'm gonna explain this. In Fate Grand Order, the mobile game, which I love, I still need to keep playing that on my free time. I've been playing too much Honkai Star Rail. But it's most of the time when we see Musashi in the Fate universe, we see female Musashi, who is a boisterous woman. This is because that version of Musashi became more commonplace, but she comes from a different timeline where Musashi was always female. But historically accurate Musashi is actually our universe, I say our universe, but Fate, the traditional Fate universe is sort of normal Musashi. Female Musashi is actually an oddity. But yeah, no. Which is really weird why she's in the intro cinematic. It will be really interesting when we meet her, considering our protagonist knows male Musashi, but she still has all the same memories. Because outside of her gender, it's all the same. Also, because Fate does this all, you'll notice this when we play through Fate. Some characters are straight up gender bend, and it's basically outside of the fact that Fate Stay Night was a doujinshi game when it started, it had Arrow in it. It started a trend of people in history weren't necessarily the gender that history depicts them as. The example Fate Stay Night gives us is Arthur Pendragon, who in the Fate universe is Artoria Pendragon, but she still refers primarily to herself as in masculine terms, and she is biologically female, but she refers, and most of the Knights of the Round Table refer to either her as a him or purely as their king, minusing out gender. Because a king needs to be seen as a man because that was just the era they lived in. And it's interesting because of the dynamics it creates of like this historic figure who is traditionally shown as a middle-aged man. Fantastic woman. It also lends to a great extra choice of design. No. Weirdly enough, no. Multiverse sometimes suggests that there is Nobunaga's a woman in Fate, but there was a point during one of the events in Fate Grand Order where a bunch of Nobunagas get put together, and one of them is male, who was killed by Nobunaga's brother because Nobunaga's brother is a ciscon and couldn't believe that his sister could ever be some old man, right? Because he met that Nobunaga towards the end, who was already at sort of the end of Nobunaga didn't die of old age. He died at Hinoji, but he was already more old. He was already in the older end of the scale as time went by that time. But no, gender is more of a minusing fact of like, you need to remember gender doesn't matter. That historically it doesn't matter. And as servants now as heroic spirits, gender doesn't apply because you become so much more powerful than the average human. So yeah, there's a lot there where gender isn't really a factor until it is. There is one servant who is good as a male, but the alternate interpretation has him as a woman. That I can't remember the name, but it's a character who appeared between Fate Go and Fate Go Arcade. In Arcade, where they first appeared, they're male, but they were later released in Fate Go as a different class, and they're female. And the female one is the evil interpretation. Even though historically, the male one is the good one. It's just like, so sometimes it is, but they don't pull the card of switching genders being part of the whole looking at it from another perspective thing, which I think is really a really good idea. It saves the surprise. That's the biggest thing. I think overall they don't play the switching gender card too often enough, but not too often, especially when they're trying to do something different and with the interest, when they try to make sure it's not on top of a different, more interesting thing.
Yeah. 師匠はもうとうの昔に
But yeah, no, this confirms, yeah, Musashi, even though this is a character who's related to Musashi in being their pupil, Musashi was already long dead. Has already been long dead for a while. Still, same era, but after their death. I can't believe we slept in a building with no roof.
その呼び方はまあいい。遅いぞ、より。
He's so tsundere.
先が思いやられる。あの程度の戦いでどれほど疲れ切った？まったくもう。次は君の眼に塩水を
Oh, that actually stings.
それは困る。驚きのあまり刀を抜きかねん。
ほう、いおりが抜くか。
God fucking damn it.
となると、私の加減次第では返す刀
We get it. Stop having a dick measuring contest about this.
そうだろうな。だったらなおさらやめてくれ。
前処しよう。それより君にはさっさと起きてやるべきことがある。
というと？
私たちは寝食を共にするのだ。ゆうべ君の言ったことだろう。寝て起きた。ならば次は食べる方。うん。朝げの時間だろう。さあ支度をより。兄ちゃん大変だよ。隣の家がみんな壊れて。おや、来客か？
客というか。
Well, family.
昨日の今日だぞ、カヤ。一体何しに？
兄ちゃんちも大変じゃない。一体何があったの？
Dude fell from the sky, destroyed everything.
ああ、そうだな。ゆうべは人ならざる者の襲撃を受けた。
Yeah, no. Hey, sis. A samurai in black armor and floating pauldrons threw a giant glowing sword into my house.
何？単純な話。荒ぶる雷神の放った雷がこの辺りに落ちた。おかげでゆうべは大騒ぎだ。なあ、いおり。
They realized too well too quickly.
雷か。誰ですかこの孤児。綺麗。
she. Fate has taught me early on to pay attention because a lot of characters will also just not look like their gender.
もしかしなくてもこれって
Her eyes are sparkling.
女の人を長屋に
私はセイバーという。察するに君はイオリの妹の
I'm pretty sure this character's not female. It's the voice actor that sets me off. I got used to paying attention.
私はカヤって言います。イオリ兄ちゃん兄上の妹です。セイバーさん兄上と
Alright.
祝言を挙げてくださるのですか？
What of sister?
かや、客人の前ではしゃぐものではないよ。俺はセイバーと大切な話がある。悪いが、今日のところは帰ってくれ。
大切な話？それは妹
Saber. Yeah, so all the classes, as well as the words master, servant, a lot of the terms will use essentially borrowed English. I guess it was just easier for it to all be in borrowed English for the most part. For the Japanese.
どうしよう。こんな綺麗な姉上ができるなんて心の準備が全然間に合ってないっていう。
勘違いで姉を生やすな。ほら、帰った帰った。
Shoo, shoo, shoo.
何を焦るより大事はない。妹もは私が守る。
You're not making things better.
そういう問題では。
そもそも君が巻き込まれる必要すらないぞ。イオリがどこかに隠れていれば私が全て済ませよう。イオリとてライダーとランサーを見てまともに切り合おうとは思うまい。むしろ思われてしまうと困る。
Unless you have independent manifestation, you do need me because you won't be able to get much mana from afar.
何の話？
黙って聞いておれば。
Wait, what?
大層な口を聞くではないか、セイバーとやら。
Is there another servant nearby?
何者だ？
本のじいちゃん。
I'm sorry, who?
やっと起きたか。あれだけの騒ぎの後に随分とのんきだな。
You're dropping this on me that you just had a sentient book.
喧騒が心地よう身に響いての。気づけばぐっすりと眠って
I don't know why I'm surprised. I've played near Gestalt before, like, and that has a talking book in it.
よりこれは
本だよ。
It's a book.
本。
Right. He doesn't know what paper is. What's a book?
木の元の書はもっと薄いし、よく曲がる。
I just realized, yeah, because literally last night Saber was like, "What's a book? What's paper?" You are so confused right now.
なるほど。東大では木に書くのはやめたのか。
Yes, technically.
本を知らぬとなれば、やはり相当に古き時代の人物なのだろう。
To be fair, when was the printing press or basic paper production started?
まあ、わしのような書に夢中になるのは仕方ないかもしれんがの。
I will say I do kind of like this initial cast of like these two are trying to measure dicks. She thinks Saber is going to be a wife, and Gramps here is just like, I am fabulous.
しかし本か。
And their relationship is, wow, you're a book? It's like, that not. And the rest of us would be like, it's not how books normally come.
時が変われば書も口を聞き、空を飛ぶようになるとは。
They don't!
なんとも
Normally.
驚きだ。
いやいや、本は飛ばないし喋らないよ普通。
Thank you. Thank you, Kaya.
このじいちゃんがおかしいだけだって。
おお、ならば何がしかの怪異か。
He does give yokai
おか
vibes.
しいだの怪異だの悪意のないトゲが突き刺さるわ。
じいさん、 紅玉の書は父の遺産だ。
Wait. From Musashi? That's
いずこ
interesting.
の文字で書かれたかすらもわからず、読むのを諦めていたが、ある日突然、俺に琴の葉を放ってきてな。正直、驚きはしなかった。
Why were you not
琴の
surprised?
葉でやりとりができるのは、なんというか、書を読むよりもたやすいしな。
That makes sense. This would have been an era of Japan where literacy was still like an uncommon skill.
そうして俺はじいさんにいくらかを教わった。体中の経絡を研ぎ澄ませ、半年の後、カトンの会得に成功したというわけだ。
カトン。ああ、あれか。ゆうべ君の使った術だな。ならば差し詰め、この書は君の術の詩か。
I learned from a
傍
book.
らにあるなら、今からでもまじないを本文としたらどうだ？
Sorry, I just realized I learned from a book implies you've read it, but in this case, I learned from a book implies that a book is teaching me, actually teaching. Sorry, that's just such a fucking funny notion.
剣よりよほど身を助けるだろう。
俺の本文は剣士だよ。どれほど弱かろうともな。
剣士。
のんびり話して。兄ちゃん、家なんとかしなきゃ。埃も泥棒も入り放題になっちゃうよ。
We drape some cloth over the hole. We find a carpenter.
そうだな。これでは朝毛もままならん。
ならばよりよ、これを機にこの長屋に魔術工房をこしらえてはどうじゃ。
That's actually not a bad idea.
魔術師に火事場あり、魔術師に魔術工房ありじゃ。
工房なんだっけそれ。
お前も前にじいさんから聞いた。
Like a forge for a mage.
魔術、さらには砦のようなものなんだ。
And a fortress. Yes, because by the modern era that a lot of content takes place in, a mage's workshop is usually uses a lot of different mage crafts to make it an impenetrable fortress.
魔術師の魔術工房とは、
Yeah.
難攻不落だが余人に知られては三流の仕事。一見してもわからぬよう、長屋を砦へと変える。
Thank you, Grandpa.
ほうほう。守りを固める術ならぜひやるといい。
やぶさかではないが、
工房作りには素材がいるぞ。無から有を望んではいかん。
Yes, sir.
銭はまあ昨日の稼ぎで足りるじゃろ。さあ、必要な素材。
And there goes all the money we earned yesterday. But yes, in the modern era, because basically magic as like traditionally you see it doesn't exist in the world anymore. Magecraft is essentially a backwards what's the word I'm looking for? In the Fate universe, Magecraft is essentially what happens when you try to reverse engineer magic. It's not quite as strong, and a big part of that is after the era of the gods. So we're talking about like when mythical, you know, the eras that are usually talked about when like mythical beings and the gods themselves were part of the universe, part of the world. After those ended, essentially the density of magic went down, and also magic as a whole gets weaker as we as humans start to understand the world more, because it relies on a certain level of mystery existing in the world. So as we entered the information age, it's gotten weaker and weaker, because we understand so much more about the world in general. Lookbook. But that is sort of why magic is called magecraft. True magic is nearly unachievable, and those who can do so don't normally interact with the normal world because it's problematic.
あまり時をかけず買ってこ。
いってら。
I cannot tell you. There are, I think there's 6 kinds of true magic. Could not tell you what all 5 are. I think number 3 is the perception of parallel universes, so the ability to look across the multiverse. 5, I think, is time travel. Favorite representation. I'm a big fan of Magecraft. I do like fairy tales perception sometimes. I'm a big fan of practical magics. The magics that require something from you, not ritualistically always, but like I like Magecraft because a lot of Magecraft is there are a few prerequisites, which is why not everyone can be a mage. But because in Fate's universe you have to have a magic circuit or you have to have magical objects. A magic circuit is in Fate's universe, a magic circuit is essentially a secondary nervous system. It's unnatural. That is full of magical circuits that can carry a certain amount of magic in them. So magic can come down to a science. You know how much magic can run through your body, so you know how much you can output, so you know how much can go through. And I like that because you can very much practically. Fullmetal Alchemist is good. Transmutation is. But Fullmetal Alchemist, for the most part, is basically transmutation in any other setting. But it's very... I do like how it's a very hard line. Like, yeah, no, equal exchange cannot be messed with. Alright, general store. Yeah, no, I am a big fan of how Fate normally does it. Like, even, I would say, clearly, Iori here has magical circuits of some degree, but he also is using gems. Gems don't necessarily need you to have, Gem Magicraft is about using gems with magical properties to supplement the lack of natural magical ability, or just to make it easier on yourself. Whoop. But yeah, no, there's a lot of really good magical systems, but I am a big fan of Fate as a practical system, because there's, like, I do like D&D's interpretation of, like, you know, Battles in Town, yes, Fugs. Oh, okay, it's red on my map. I do like D&D's interpretation of spell slots being like how much your body can take the strain of magic. But practically, like, trying to think of that is like, because of the separation of player and avatar, it's like it can feel a little like eh. But like, yeah, I like Magecraft. I do like Fullmetal Alchemist Alchemy. I probably wouldn't choose it personally. Each town has its own specific trials to defeat enemies or play with cats and dogs. Okay, good to know. Plus are kind of stamina fatigue and you only can't... Yeah, but it's like, the idea is meant to be that as a mage, your physical body can only take so much of the magic flowing through it too. I remember someone saying that, like, the best interpretation is that, but it's like, you know, when you look at it in practice, mages don't usually act like they've used all their spell slots. It's more like, oh, I'm just dry. But it's like the idea they wanted to translate, it's like, in my head, a mage who's used all their magic would be, like, exhausted. Like, oh, God. With loose fatigue, yeah. So yeah, no, I think Fairy Tail does a great job of it in that way. Of like, yeah, magic, showing that magic is an exhausting thing. Magic is and always should feel like it's exhausting. Ooh, a little simple mage workshop. Actually, I shouldn't say simple. This is probably pretty advanced for the era. Oh, we're in the next house over.
元に戻しておこ
さて次じ
Oh
ゃ。
lord.
工房についていくつか教えておくとし
I'm
よ
gonna
う。
assume this is my magic system. It's my skill tree. Can be quiet at the same time if you have enough skill point. Okay. What are my first three? Reaper. Hey, evading attacks at the perfect time will allow you to unleash a counter. I'm taking that. Oh, that's 4. Amber Glow is a healing spell. Chance to trigger critical hits. Oh, so if I only have 5. Oh, and top one, attack up. No, I'm taking this one. We'll use up all but 1 point, and nothing is 1, but the ability to do a perfect dodge is actually really good. Oh, thank you, Kaya.
う。おい、まだ勘違いを。
それじゃあまたセイバーさん、兄上をよろしくお願いします。
I actually don't know if the saber is male or just is a pretty boy male or is another one of those subversions of the female.
ごちそうさま。
いつまで飯の話を
Actually, I'm wondering, have they talked with pronouns in written dialogue? Because I haven't been paying enough to the spoken to tell if they're using male Japanese pronouns.
腹が減っては戦ができぬ。
Or even gender neutral.
東大では言うのだろう。食を
Also,
おろそかにしてはいつまでも
My
弱い
ability to
まま
remember
だ
the
ぞ
context of
っていう
Japanese spoken language shifts every other day.
それは分かっている。カヤにもよく怒られているしな。ともあれだ。今後の動きを決めるとしよ
動き。うん。それは英月の義をどう戦うかということか。
Hmm.
う。ああ、そうだ。
And as we go, we're gonna find the other 4 masters and servants we haven't
なら
seen.
ば私から言っておくことがある。義がどうあれ戦場に呼ばれたからには私は勝利する。優先すべきは敵マスターとサーバントの撃破。
待て。それは江戸の民のことはいないものとして考える。
うん。分かってもらえて何より
He
だ。
understands he doesn't agree.
本当に。
その驚きは何についてだ。
では、そうはならぬよう立ち回らなければな。
言わずとも構わない。ゆうべ、君の意志はもう聞いた。
さて。
I know what I must do
では、
next.
出かける？この工房、君が引きこもって身を守るために作ったのではなかった
It was
のか。
not.
銭を稼がねば飯は食えん。道理だろ
稼ぐ銭。ああ、確か。
What era do you come from there where there is no existence of money?
う。貨幣に縁遠いのか。
Oh, that's right.
平安武者あたりか。
Also because yeah, you don't think about that too often, but like old societies they did trade, they didn't do currency.
剣士としての務めか？
近いが遠いな。切り合いなどそうはない。江戸の町を取り締まる同心連中の手伝いさ。今日は吉原へ行く。
同心吉原。よくわからないが、君は何かを手伝うのだな。
Yeah, that's a pretty old era because constables would still be a relatively recent development in Japan, but
セイバーは留守の
still.
番をしていろ。俺一人で構わない。どうした？
いや、私も行く。そうだな。行った方がいい。行くべきだ。
Yeah, there'd be no reason for you for Iori and Saber to be apart because 2 of the masters know what Iori looks like.
虫の知らせがあってな。元より君が決める言われもないだろう。
そうかもしれないが。
なら決まりだ。お、そうだ。私は江戸には不慣れでな。しっかりと案内を頼む。己の町だ。知らぬことなどないだろ。
可愛らしい異種返しだな。まあ、案内くらいはしてやろ
Yeah, Saber is already flagging as probably pre-warring Warring States era. Probably during a point where Japan was a lot more, where sections of Japan were probably a lot more isolated. Because the game is definitely implying they're a Japanese servant.
米とお身をつけ。それは一大事だな。任せろ。邪魔はしない。では、支度が済んだら声をかけてくれ。
Miso and rice is vitally important. Oh, here we go. Nope, 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 nope. I refuse. Back we go. Yeah, I think that was to do with spiders. That was not taken from a stream. I recorded that in my own time, but I think I did it after a stream where we had a lot of spiders, and I was very upset. Okay. And that just goes straight there. It's like spoodles. Yeah, it was rough with Dragon Age Inquisition's, some of the Descent DLC. So many spiders because we were in the goddamn deep roads. Oh. We got two accompanying us. Grandpa Book and Saber the Butt. And us. Samurai. I'm thinking... I don't know enough about Japan's history to like pin down specifics or even Saber's identity. But I would have to assume it must be during a point... They must come from somewhere... Because they're a heroic spirit. They're a legend in some way, but they've got to come from somewhere far back. But probably from warring era, because during war you don't see a lot of people walking around in cities looking like how we see them, you know. Even hundreds of people. Probably not. It's probably a rich dude or it's general constables. They were so excited.
物珍しさに目を白黒させているな。まあ無理もない。俺も最初はそうだった。江戸の街並み、大いに面食らったものだ。それはそうだろう。何しろ。
You know what? I do enjoy it. I do enjoy seeing a servant go like, I've never seen this before.
それは人がこんなにもたくさん生きているということ。これは何というか。とても人の営みに感じる。平らかなるものを知らずに生きた人物。
I'm on the same wavelength Iori is.
ああ、いや、江戸の町があんまり物珍しくて。さあ、よりキリキリと案内せよ。
Interesting, we're actually in Edo.
に向かう道すがら、私の問いに答えるがよい。
I think this is... From the sounds of it, it might be after the shogunate was created, which means the real power is moving towards what would later become Tokyo. Because Edo is a spiritual capital, because the emperor lives here.
遠き過去を生きた英傑に江戸浅草を楽しんでもらうとしよう。
Well, this is, I will say, for a game that was made by the guys who makes oh, god damn it, who makes Samurai Warriors, this is a pretty impressive. Don't worry, Saber. Sometimes Saber will call out to you while you explore. There might be something good. Check it out.
あれはチュルリ。
食べたいのか。
いや別にそういうわけでは。
少し待っていろ。
Oh my god. They animated their cheeks puffing in and out as they chew.
口にあったようで何よりだ。
とても良いぞ。次もうまいものを食したいものだな。
Oh wait, I can check something. No, that doesn't explain a thing. Okay, never mind. I thought this character's male, but literally it says in my biography, gender question mark, so I'm not gonna make any assumptions anymore. I'm gonna refer to them as a they until I'm gonna refer to them as they and gender neutral until I can find something out. I feel bad for everyone else whose house got destroyed.
どうしたセイバー。
わずかに魔力を感じた。夕べの奴らとは違うようだ。
かような街中での確かめた方がよさ。
No, it is magical energy. It'll be interesting. It's interesting when they do characters who are difficult to determine their gender and don't speak in any specific way to indicate it, because it can imply that it can imply 1,000 things, which makes it way harder to figure out who they are. Oh no. This could be a servant's power or a mage's power.
まあそうだ。おおかた夕べより江戸一帯にうず。
話は後だ。
分かっている。
That's why I like Viera. The gender ambiguity. Males can be male, boys are girls, but girls are very much girls. Fate doesn't do this as often. There is a character, Astolfo, one of Charlemagne's 12 paladins. In Fate's universe, he looks very female, but he is definitively male, because it's based off the story in which he calmed down one of his fellow paladins by dressing up as his wife while he was in a berserk state.
出番だ。
分かった。よりの声に応じて私の体が見えく指示をつなぐ魔力のパス夢か。これは面白い。必要な時は私を呼べ。より。
Yes, no, I agree with you. It's also because Viera canonically look indistinguishable from females until they're of a certain age. Gems can be dropped so I can get my spells back. Okay. Some wacky magic going on today.
味わうといい。これはどうだ。
I'm not getting many opportunities to hit this guy.
神秘な着物は神秘に届かぬ。
Mystic beings, but you can break through. Oh, I was doing the right thing. Do I have to break the shell gauge? Oh, right, I can use this. Window of opportunity. Okay, so we'll break. No, I can't do anything yet. Whoa, did it just laser beam eyes me? Switch to quick style. No, this one. Yeah, no. It is interesting because we do have a character whose identity we don't know, so we can't say anything definitive about them. It also tells us nothing about the character. I actually do like this twist though, of like the character, our servant is not telling us their identity purely because they don't believe that it would be of any benefit to us, rather than any other reason why they wouldn't know it.
あれ式の会議がなんだ。さあ、吉原へ向かうぞ。
そうじゃより。先を。
これのことか。
Oh.
それじゃそれ。
Okay, so I'm guessing this is a thing I'll get for fighting.
君の剣につけてはどうだ？少しは助けとなるかもしれん。
Oh, hello. Mountings. One of my favorite trap in Xenoblade Chronicles. There. It says something that I have Florin, and I never realized Florin. I still haven't realized Florin was not is a trap. That's. And I've played through all of Xenoblade Chronicles, and that has. I don't know if that knowledge was just forgotten by me or what. We have to go back to Xenoblade 2 again. We're in the middle of a playthrough. We were in the middle of a playthrough 2 years ago, and I actually have been playing it a bit again because of a friend. Not progressing, just doing busy work. But still. I should have mentioned this will not be a normal series for a bit. I just wanted to play this finally. I wanted to play a warrior style game. I just wanted to hack and slash through a bunch of enemies. Like, I didn't walk in here going, oh, I definitely want to play this today for reasons. So this will be like alone in my YouTube archive for like a while. Oh. Yes. He's a good kitty. He's a good kitty. He's on his legs. Hello, hello. Oh, I get playing with animals restores your HP. I love that. Yo, other one. Boom. What's I am learning today? Oh, there's still more. Ow. Oh, that hurt. And we'll go north from here and take care of another enemy. Oh, that's my sprint button. So let's take care of things on the home front before we move on. Take some opportunity to get some extra strength before we go to the next story beat. Oh, there's the ability. I feel like one ability I'll be able to unlock is to increase the window in which I can do that. Oh, I'm already level 5.
朝飯前というあれだ。
Hello. Hey, Mr. Kitty.
気持ちいいか。
Oh, I see. As I spam it, it's the amount I'm healing, so it only gives me a little bit of heals.
ほーら、怖くないぞ。
I miss owning a cat. I say it a lot. I do miss having a cat. I like dogs too, though. I miss having pets personally. And my parents do have a dog, and she's adorable. But I do miss being part of that. We gotta find one more for the town achievement. As I just saw what you sent me, Tenchi. I know too many people with similar names. Oh, it doesn't recharge. You have 4 cats? Aww. I love that. I don't think we can have pets here. We couldn't have pets at the last place. Oh, we could have... No, I don't think we can have them here. But we can't have them here. And at the last place, you had to get a... You had to do paperwork. But also, taking care of a pet is a lot of work. I respect everyone who has pets. Work and money. But they love you, and they're adorable. There's a few places we can go. There might be... Aww. Sounds like they get treated very well then. It's always nice to hear. Very fair. Yeah, we are straight up in the house next door. Skills. You're nice to hear. Oh, Lord. It begins. Alright, yeah, let's get a cord. Earth stance preservation. Defeat humans while... Oh, I gotta use Earth stance more. Oh, that's all that's taught me, is I'm not using Earth stance enough. Take a rest. Take a load off. I'm gonna assume, yeah, that's a pure heal. Yeah, no, I'm always glad to hear when people really love their pets. We've had a lot of good pets in my family. We've had cats, dogs, birds, rabbits. Hey. These are all the things to do. Alright. Oh, cat. Or dog. No cat. There's only cats around here, no dogos. Pet. I kinda love how the fact it's like... It's Iori petting, and then it gives you another chance to pet using Saber. Cat, dog. Alone in the world with a little cat dog. Cat dog. Oh, doggo. Oh, look how fluffy he is. Look how fluffy he is. Oh. I grew up in a Nickelodeon heavy era. That dog is very familiar to me.
あれは
Not this way. Oh no, it's on the other alley. Fluffy, I'm gonna die. Honestly, my uncle my aunt, he passed away a few years ago, but she had a Samoyed. Fluffiest dogs known to mankind. Dumbest dogs known to mankind too.
すっきりさっぱりでよし
I loved him, but he really was so fluffy. And his favorite thing to get you to pet him was if you sat on the floor, he would just walk in front of you until you pet him.
ごゆっくり。
こたびもペロリといけたぞ頬が落ちそうだ
またのお越しを。
I love fluffy dogs. But I also could never take care of a fluffy dog. I know from family that it's a nightmare to take care of a fluffy dog. It is an absolute nightmare. Because my aunt's dog used to be, because he's a Samoyed, it's white fur, and he'd be decent for a little bit, and then he'd just have slobbered over himself so much that, he'd slobber over himself so much that, his fur would, around his mouth and on his chest, his fur would get, like, sort of reddish from just picking up dirt. Ugh. Yeah, you got a vac. My hay fever would be going off. My hay fever used to go off all the time with our cat Crystal.
よしまた来てくれよ
Yeah, oh, I miss that dog. Oh, I have hay fever. Like, I get set off by lots of things. It is not, for me, it's like, it's not new news, unfortunately.
ところでだ吉原は江戸から何日くらい歩くのだ
そうではないぞ。吉原は江戸という巨大都市の中にあるのじゃ。ほれ、地図を見てみよ。
Oh, we're just going to a different part of the city.
わしらが今いるのがここ、浅草。
I also forgot, yeah, in this era, a city as big as Edo, for whatever era Saber comes from, a city as big as Edo is probably crazy.
そして吉原はここじゃ。
当世の地図はここまで精緻かなかなかやるなおじ
そう強くつつ
To poke so hard.
よりも眺めておらんで吉原に向かわんか
Oh, cool. So I'm taking these little red flags to probably be nearest places we can go. Quite a few. It doesn't look like we're leaving Edo, which fits because most Holy Grail wars take place within a defined area.
いざまだ見ぬ吉原の地へ
Divine water. A suppressible phantasm. Okay, so we don't know its true nature because of everything. Oh, here we go. Mage. Those who possess magical circuits are and therefore able to use magecraft. Yeah, no, I know my IU is so allergic. I'm so technically allergic because of hay fever.
吉原か
I don't care though. Animals are cute.
待てセイバー、あまり勝手に動くんじゃ。
Plus, pollen sets me off anyway, so who gives a fuck at that point?
見ろより、あのアコードも、あの老輩も、おお、あやつも。
Saber, it's not okay to call people strange.
鼻の下を伸ばしたり、頬が緩んだり。
Wait, are we in a red light district?
もしや何かの妖術にかかっているのか？
そうだな。そうとも言うし、そうでない。
Am I walking down Prostitute Alley?
自分の目で確かめることだ。
Itchy.
さあ、行くぞ。まずは助之進に。お、噂をすれば。
おお、いたいた。今日もよろしく頼むぜ。にしてもいおりさん、べっぴんの連れとは珍しいこともあるね。
Yeah, this makes sense because constables aren't well liked within places like red light districts, but order still needs to be kept.
セイバーだ。おお、君が同心というやつか。
セイバー？妙な名だが、もしやあんたも腕が立つのかい？
無論、イオリより強いぞ。
へえ、そりゃ期待できそうだ。それじゃ早速と行きたいとこなんだが。
Oh, what's gone wrong this time?
野暮用があってね。詳しくはそこの旦那に聞いてくんな。
貴殿が依頼主かな。
おう、あんた腕利きなんだってな。近頃銭をたかる連中がいて迷惑してるのさ。奴らいつも帰り道を張ってやがるんだ。
つまり
We don't kill in this era, Saber.
セイバー、ダメだ。殺すな。ここでの殺しはご法度だ。この程度なら叩き伏せるだけでいい。そもそもいたずらな殺生は人の道に反する。
Yeah, Saber is definitely from a war era.
セイバ
ー、わけがわからない。二人で追っ手を散々切ったじゃないか。
え？なんだって？
物の例えだ。物騒なことを人前で話すな。それにあれはやむにやまれぬ沙汰だ。
話は別は？
なあ。だがなるべく殺すな。もう乱世じゃないんだ。
わかったわかった。
Yeah.
まったく。
You ever think about? I think
任せるがいい。
I think it's what makes it so when the world changes, it's the reason why so many people become, break the laws. It's because they've lived up to that point. These things weren't think about or considered. And Saber clearly shows, what happens to a person who came from an era so far apart from yours with way less laws.
より、こっちだ。より、手を振られているぞ。振り返した方が良いのではないか？
Saber, that's a prostitute box.
あれは仕事で手を振っている。気もないのに
More stabby stabby.
仕事の邪魔だ。
そういうものか。難しいのだな。
More stabby stabby, less jail time. Oh, it's geisha. But still. We don't have the money for that anyway.
金は持ってんだろうな。
白昼堂々、ゆすりたかりか。
あ？なんだてめえ。俺は忙しいんだ。邪魔するなら容赦しねえぞ。
セイバー、仕事の時間だ。殺すなよ。セイバー。
弱そうだな。
Alright, I need to go to the earth. His title is manservant. Come on, boys, time to die. I like this. This game's got a lot going for it that's unique from other Warriors games.
この野郎、人雇う金があんならとっとと貸した金返せってんだ。今日のところは見逃すが、覚えとけ。
ヒデン、連中に金を借りていたのか。
さよなら。
God fucking damn it.
あやつは走っていったのだ。
Because he broke the law.
スケの神明、裏を取らなかったな。後ろぐらいのは依頼主の方だったということだ。これはいささか揉めそうだ。
ああ、こりゃまた派手にやってくれたな。
What are we... Oh, hello.
踏み倒されてあげたい。
泣かんでくれ山吹さん。まさか用心棒を雇いやがるとは。
貴殿らは。
俺は
Oh my god.
こっちは遊女の山吹さんで、あいつには金を返してもらうはずだったのよ。
私は知らぬぞ。よく確かめぬいおりが悪い。
すまんが銭はない。貸せるものも剣の腕くらいのもの。
よし、一つうちの仕事を手伝いな。
I see we're gonna get money for someone else.
山吹さん、ひとまずあんたの分は俺が立て替えといてやるからよ。
Dude borrowed money so he could hire a geisha.
本にありがとうござりんした。夜の支度があるんで失礼させていただきんす。
My man.
俺は何をすればいい？
取り立てさ。うちから金を借りてる連中を回ってきっちり取り立ててくれりゃいい。腹っぽいやつ、口が回るやつ、なんとも厄介なやつらばっかりさ。当然切り殺しちまうのはなしで頼む。その上でどうだい？やるかい？
Yeah, sure.
背に腹は変えられんな。
Well, if the ends justify the means, that's a dangerous line of thought.
これが貸し付けたやつらの一覧だ。きっちり集めて耳を揃えて収めてくれよ。
まったく、とんだ災難だ。
It's also because in this era, money lending,
あれは
still not a great profession, but, you know, legally speaking, you borrow money, you pay it back.
なんか用か？
貴殿、大金を借りたままだろう。速や
Money,
かに
money,
返せ。
money, money.
借金だ。知らねえな。何のことだ？
He was confident until the moment we told him to pay back his debt.
すごい。なんと嘘が下手なのだろう。
うるせえな。知らねえっつってんだろ。ごちゃごちゃ抜かしてんじゃねえ。おい、集まれ。こいつ叩きのめすぞ。
Money! Gonna get that money.
峰打ちで済ませる。殺すなよ、セイバー。もらった。決める。
God damn it, I didn't time it properly to get the Reaper's A. No! Saber! Saber!
水の流れのごとく。揺るがぬ地のごとく。
この力、
Ah!
まず生かそう。
くそ、やりやがる。だが何をしようが金はねえ。
Yeah, you waste all your money getting other guys to fight for
とって
you.
おきの場所に隠したからな。 見つけるどころかたどり着けやしねえさ。
I have a solution for this. Let's pin him down and kick him in the balls until he says something.
面倒な。
はしごも外したしな。誰も登ればもっとなんでもねえ。
うかつだぞ、貴殿。
It's higher up.
奴の口ぶりでは高所のようだ。
Saber can probably make the jump.
案ずるな。はしごなどいらぬいらぬ。
何かするのか。目立たん場所を探すぞ。
Okay, I realize this is the first time I've opened the main menu. Hey. Oh, I can change what the equipped ones on Saber are. Okay.
これは
聞いたか、この仏さん。
Oh, someone's dead.
行き倒れだってな。まったく哀れ。
かような亡骸。江戸では珍しいのか。
いや、のたれ死になどはそう珍しくない。
Yeah, but in any big city, in any era, there will always be people on the side of the road, sadly.
とはいえ、見慣れるものではないさ。
そういうものか。思えば、かつての世も似たようなものだったかな。
そうか。
行くぞ。いつまでもここにとどまってはいられぬ。
I think the thing that this does so much, which feels so much more interesting than a lot of other ones, because it's set in a era like this, still not that far removed from like the wartime.
あそこはどうだ?
It makes it really interesting that it just feels really interesting, you know? Because it's like the characters aren't that far from war. And not like being a character who's like from beyond like World War One or Two, but like still within like traditional.
任せよ。
Whee! Learn the Link Strike and the corresponding affinity technique Waterfall. Okay. Now I have a full thing.
思ったより力技だったな。
Yeah, I couldn't do that. My fear of heights would kick in.
何が不満だ。バビューンだぞ。さて、探し物は。ああ、あれか。
これで一つ回収だ。
残るは2つか。とく済ませたいものだな。
Even we didn't fly, you just chucked me with all your strength, so you know.
はい、どちら様？
貴殿が借りた金を取り立てに来た。戸を開けてもらおうか。
なんだ、取り立て屋かい。ひどい風邪をひいちまってね。
God damn it.
あんたに移しちゃ悪いだろ。だからまた今度訪ねてくれねえか。
Just never leaves home.
だから後でちゃんと返すからさ。
Oh
それ
lord.
を信じると思うか。
なんだい、信じてくれねえのかい。俺はこんなに辛いってのに悲しいね。ともかく俺は今日
Oh, this dude.
日を改めてくれ。
いおり、この戸壊してもいいか。
Violence.
壊す前に確かめたのは
I appreciate.
だがダメだ。
David's starting to understand. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of rules to this era.
頭の固い集め。ならば、私が壁を抜けて中に入る。それでいろんなかろう。
壁抜け？
すぐに終わる。
Yeah, because servants can dissipate their physical form in certain ways.
待て。せめて人目につかないところで頼む。裏へ回ろう。
Right, let's go around to the back. The merchants became more powerful than the samurai. Yep. Fire was upended. It was the end of society as people knew it.
指を加えて待っていろ。
The importance of the world changed.
さあ、金を返してもらおうか。
I think I heard him shit himself. Honestly.
回収したぞ。ありがたく受け取るがいい。当世での我らの体は仮初めのものゆえ、このようにうつろの体に変わることができる。
Yeah, because the closest equivalent, and Fate gives it too, is essentially a servant is just a super advanced familiar. It is a collection of magical particles that has essentially the entire history of a person downloaded from the Grail.
これを霊体と呼ぶ。
Yep, spirit form.
大したものだ。時折気配ごと姿が消えていたのは、まさか壁をすり抜けるとは。サーバント、つくづく人の理解を超える。何はともあれ回収だ。さあ、次へ行くぞ。
一体どこから入っ
Yeah, no, it's... Yeah.
何ですか？
ああ、貴殿が借りたままの金を。
He's gonna run, isn't he?
返せるのか、返せんのか。
申し訳ございません。申し訳ございません。
おい、私に代われより。
Oh no, what are you doing?
怯えられているぞ。そんな風に怖い顔をするから。
顔がなんだと言うんだ。いいか？
I knew he was gonna run away.
ああ、もう捕らえるぞ。
Also, yeah, Yori has the face of a traditional... Traditionally, serious dude.
なんだこの炎は。
あれは
怪異。だが、いかにしてあそこへ向かうか。
Elemental.
君はそこで見ているがいい。怪異の炎なぞ。私がたちまち消してみせよう。
Let's do it. What a spout. What a spout is 2, so let's replace Roiling Rapids for this battle.
俺たちが対処する。貴殿は隠れて待っていろ。水の川。
私一人で構わないが。
What a spout.
瞬く間に片付けてみせよう。任せろ。私に続け。
Oh my god. We're working together. Okay, this is cool. Oh. That is... Are those arms or parts of its mouth?
私の敵ではないが。 次から次へと邪魔だより。私が型をつける。
The substitution when the substitution gauge is filled. Oh. Cool. So now I'm just straight up playing Saber. with all the power. Oh, but for only... That's smart, so I can play as a servant for a limited amount of time. Enough, keep fighting. Waterfalls. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Nanda, その沈黙は。
いや、貴殿の戦いぶりに目を奪われた。無人の脳を行くがごとく、まるで対峙する相手などないも同然に。
Damn.
貴殿は己が都合のみで戦っている。目っつけ、息遣い、足さばきに体さばき、それらの応酬がない。読み合わず、読み合わせず、己が技を押し付けるのみで、かつ並ぶ者なき王者の剣。
戦いとはそういうものでは。
Yeah, that's war. That is the kind of fighting you develop in war.
自覚さえないか。
Because that's the kind of fighting where you go, right or wrong isn't what you're looking for, it's win or die.
あなたたち。貴殿、怪我。あなたたち。
Seriously, mate?
お金は返します。
I mean, we got the money, so... Saber's skill tree. Don't worry, we weren't going for too much longer. I have to be up in like 9 hours, so... That's fair. Alright, let's just throw a few points in. Anyone who thinks they could be honorable in the heart of war when it's win and die. True. Alright. Save game. Great new save file. Still in the prologue. This is still prologue. Holy crap. They say in my opponent's eyes even means I win. Yeah. Lose game. Alright. Then we'll call it a night. I gotta be up at like 9 tomorrow, so... yeah, I gotta be up at 9 because my plan for tomorrow changed. We have to go buy fuses for the car, so I've gotta... Turns out the fuses we thought were just but are actually might actually still be damaged, so we're gonna go... I gotta go straight over the... I gotta pick up something from my grandparents. They're finally home. So I gotta go there, and then I gotta go pick up my father, and more importantly, the fuses themselves, so I can get new ones that are proper, and yeah, I guess gonna have to hope. Because if it's just, it turns out the fuses were still damaged, and that's why nothing was happening, then it's a lot cheaper. We'll see, we'll see. Anyway, yes, I'll go get some sleep. Good night. Bye. Sleep well.